This is the 2024 BMW X7 xDrive 40i, and I promise I will not repeat that terminology throughout the rest of the video, except for maybe one more time at the end because it is a mouthful. Today we're at BMW here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm going to show you at least some of the highlights of what you get for the sticker price of $104,675. There's so much here that, well, the video would be an hour and a half long if we showed you everything. One thing that I do like here about this model is that being as high-tech as it is, and with the price point and everything, you would think when you open this gas door right here that you would find capless fuel fill, but you don't. And I really like that fact. That is a nice feature. Fewer car makers are offering just your typical kind of almost what you would call old school gas cap right there. So kind of an interesting thing. We're going to take a quick look at this model and see what the highlights are and tell you exactly what you get for that sticker price if you happen to want to own this X7. Check out the link down in the description of the video. It will take you to the BMW website for this particular model. And in case you are curious about this exterior color, it's called Frozen Pure Gray Metallic. And in case you want to buy this model or one with a similar color to it or exterior finish, well, this sticker will be in the window, just so you know ahead of time. And just for grins and giggles, in case you are curious, this is the ivory white interior. For 2024, there are no major changes, as we saw a few updates for the 2023 model year for the X7. We're going to have the full LED headlights, adaptive headlights, a very nice look. But the one thing a lot of people talk about not liking is going to be this separation point right here. What do you think about that? Do you like it? Do you not? What are your thoughts? Going to have the forward-facing camera, the double kidney grille, and obviously everything here is going to be functional on the front end. And taking a look at the hood, very nice lines, going to have that classic BMW logo right there. Very nice lines that are kind of hard to see because of the exterior color, but we'll do our best to show them to you. You're going to have the body-colored mirror caps. You're going to have the turn signal indicators built into these power-adjustable, power-folding side view mirrors, and the satin steel trim, as you can see all over the vehicle with the roof rails. A very nice look. It really accents the tinted windows, the privacy glass back here. And we'll have a nice rear roof spoiler to finish things off right here. As far as the overall look, not too big, not too small. Really the right proportion as far as that goes. Here's what your taillights are going to look like. In fact, when you're driving down the road, well, even though those are the hazard lights, they're also the blinkers. Yes, this BMW does indeed have blinkers. There is the X7 logo, the xDrive 40i, and then gonna have those exhaust finishers right there. You can see you have the pipes actually inside of the finishers as they are, but a nice look to finish things off here on the rear. While I realize that the average BMW owner is probably never going to use this lever to open the hood, I do like the fact that you see it says 2 times on there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull on that 2 times, and we're going to come over here. And I like the fact that to show you the engine under the hood, I don't have to do anything but raise the hood up. So that's nice. What does that reveal? The 3-liter twin-turbo inline 6-cylinder. It makes an impressive 375 horsepower, 383 pounds-feet of torque. You can see the bracing here. There's actually 4 of them to help bring rigidity to the vehicle. With all that horsepower and torque, that's not a bad thing. Obviously, it's all-wheel drive. And with all that horsepower and torque, what are the gas mileage numbers? Well, here's what they are according to BMW. 21 city, 25 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas is what BMW says you should use for every 100 miles you drive. And I showed you that you don't have capless fuel fill earlier. What exactly are you going to be able to do gas-wise? Well, you can put 21.9 gallons of gas into the gas tank. And here on the front tires with the xDrive BMW X7, we're going to have 275 on the width. I can't even get my hand all the way across there. We're going to have the 40 series sidewall It's going to be wrapped around the gloss black 22-inch wheels. And as is common with BMW, a different size on the rear tires, 315 on the width, and the sidewall will come in at 35. The only thing that's going to be continuous at all four corners, as far as the tires and wheels go, are those 22-inch wheels. If you're interested in doing some towing with your X7, 5,400 up to 5,950 pounds will be the number. You do have the power tailgate here, as you can see. There are a multitude of ways as to how you can open that. In fact, let's make sure I hit the right button there. One of those ways is what you just saw me do. You also have the button on the remote. Speaking of the remote, I know a lot of you like to see that. So here's what you have. You do have remote start here on the remote itself, so always a good feature. And cargo capacity comes in between 12.8 cubic feet up to a maximized 90.4. And one of the ways you maximize that is to lower the rear seats. You have the controls right here for doing that. And so that makes everything super simple to do as far as getting everything up and out of the way. We'll lower these rear seats for you right here. Just to let you see everything in action. It's going to drop the headrests first and then lower everything down. And you do have the cargo cover back here in the rear. This isn't the only cargo cover you have. That is removable, by the way, if you want to remove that. And then I'm going to move the floor mats in their packaging out of the way and show you what is in this area under the floor. Another cargo cover that goes a little bit further up. I don't know if you can see the area right there where it goes in the rear cargo area here, but it is stowable right here, an area that is made for that, so that makes that very simple. And also additional storage space found underneath the floor. And when it's dark out, well, obviously you're going to need some extra lighting back here. You have that with the cargo lighting. As you can see, you also have a handy dandy 12-volt power outlet right there. There are tie downs back here as well. So if you want to tie something down to keep it from rolling around, well, you have some options. Taking a look in through the driver's side rear door, here into the back seat area, you can see that the privacy shades are in place. Those are power shades, by the way. And you can see on both windows that those are available. We're going to have all of the controls for those shades and the windows themselves. And a little bit of gloss black here. We're also going to have a nice large door bin and power seats in every area that you look. Now, I set things up this way on purpose just to show you that there's going to be some variation of available leg space for the rear seat passengers. Don't worry, we're going to hop back there and take a look at what we have. Here are the controls for the power seats as far as what we have here on this side. Obviously, it's going to be duplicated on the other side. And you can also use these right here to lower those rear seats again if you want to. If you need to do that from here, you can see that process. All I'm doing is holding the button down right there, and the seat has now lowered. And then if I want to move that back into place, well, I'm just going to push on that button as well. You will have to reach back there. I don't know if I can do it from here. Barely. And put the headrest back in place. Now, I want to give you a real-time demonstration of what happens when you pull right here. Let's see if we can get that to come up. There we go. Now, the seat is going to go ahead and get up and out of the way. It's going to take its time in doing so. But I'm going to let you see that in real time just so you can see how that works in case you were curious about that. It's a very interesting process. And to put things back in place, we'll go ahead and just put that back. All I did was move the seat back into its regular position, in its upright position right there, and you can see that everything is moving back into place. Now let me reset everything. I'll hop into the back seat and show you what the leg space is really like. Okay, so here's what we have. This is the seat that's all the way back. If we move over here, well, I'd say that the seating position here on the passenger side is probably a little unrealistic. Well, still, you have a lot of option there. And that's what this area right here is for, to actually give more leg space, kind of an indentation built into the seats. So that gives you an idea of what's back here. We also have the sunroof back here. We also have the panoramic sunroof, or as BMW calls it, a moon roof. But I've had people get angry because I said moon roof in videos before. In the comments section, it's amazing what people gripe and moan about. Cup holders on both sides. And if you're saying to yourself, For over $104,000, there are no USB ports for the third row passengers. Sure there are, right there. Just gonna be hidden away. Makes everything nice and easy and neat and clean. And then we're also gonna have obviously that Alcantara headliner, and something that I wish was on right this second, I just didn't turn the ignition on, but the air conditioning vents blowing away. That would make things nice back here because it is a rather warm day here in Northwest Louisiana. And let me show you the armrests here. I can probably do this best from this angle. You can adjust those in a few different ways depending on what your rear seat passenger, or middle seat passengers I should say, want to do. So there you go. You see how that works. Pretty simple, easy to get out of the way. But to have these chairs right here, these seats right here as they are, it just wouldn't be right without an armrest. And in case you were curious about the panoramic moonroof or sunroof, whichever you prefer, there you go. You get a good look at that. You can see that you can connect back here. There's availability for screens back here, all that good stuff. We do have these seat back pockets on both sides and a bit of a nerve center of sorts. I'm going to close the door here just so we can reduce exterior noise. Gonna have the air conditioning vents not only here on the rear of the center console, but also right there on the door pillars. So that's going to be helpful. Multi-zone climate control, obviously. You have dual here in the center row, dual in the front, and obviously single zone in the rear. We're going to have our connectivity options down there. As you can see, here is the 12-volt power outlet and the USB ports, as well as a couple of cup holders, and there is the X7 logo. I guess in case your middle row seat passengers forget what they're riding in, you can just say, look down there at the drink holders, you'll remember. I guess that's just BMW's reminder. Kind of an interesting thing to see. And if you want to close or open the shade for the sunroof up there, the panoramic sunroof, that's what this is for. And then right there, that other button is for controlling the shade for the rear sunroof that the third row passengers are able to enjoy. And these buttons are for the shades, and you control the shade on this door on the left-hand side on the driver's side, or you can push that other button and control the shade over here, or should I say your rear seat passengers can do that. You are going to be right up there, which is where we're about to go. And a couple of exterior features I want to make sure I don't neglect to show you. You have the soft closed doors, so as you can see, that closes itself. And just so you can see it in action, yes, those are power folding side view mirrors. I have a lot of people ask about that if I don't show that, so that you know, there you go, there it is. And the larger door bin here on the front doors, although the door bins on the rear doors are not small by any means. We haven't talked about the fact that you do have nice soft touch materials here. Give it the armrest test. It's gonna be the same in the front as it is in the rear, very comfortable. We have the Harman Kardon audio system, by the way. I'll pair my phone and give you a sampling of that later on. And one thing that honestly I think should be on even lower priced vehicles, but it is here for the price of over $104,000, seat memory on the driver's side, something you don't always see. And here are the controls for these power adjustable seats. And right here, you want to use that extension right there. Depending on what makes a person comfortable and what doesn't, well, they can take full advantage of that. And we'll hop on inside here, and again, there it is, X7. And I guess with those arrows going in both directions, that's saying that it's an X7 on this side, and it's an X7 on that side too. Apparently it's consistent throughout. We do have quite a bit of gloss black, but it looks appropriate here on such a high-end vehicle. We'll see what kind of space we have within the nice large glove box. Have some goodies there. You'll see what you have there. And we're not going to open anything, but just show you what's here. You can have that nice felt material right there. And if you want to conceal everything away right there, well, you can. And then we can open that back up. You can see there's your wireless charging pad right there. One of the multiple USB options right here. Cup holders, another 12-volt power outlet. And here is, for those of you who live life like Monk, or if Monk actually bought an X7, this is what you would use. You do have a touch screen right there. As you can see it, yeah, there we go. kind of show you a little bit of what's there as far as all that goes. But if you don't want to use the touch screen option, guess what? You don't have to. We'll take a closer look at that in just a minute when we hop into the driver's seat. But just to show you what all is here, here is the shifter. Pretty easy to use, pretty easy to figure out. There's your start-stop button for the engine, and you can see that you have multiple driving modes. And the Bombay doors, bombs away, right? To gain access to the center console, quite a bit of space in there, a lot going on, a little bit more in the way of connectivity, as you can see right there. A very nice vehicle for sure. And by the way, notice that flickering effect. It stopped right there. I've never been able to figure out how to deal with that. That has to do with the shutter speed of my GoPro, and even changing the shutter speed doesn't fix that. It really has more to do with lighting than anything else. But when you see that effect, it's not something you can actually make your BMW X7 do. And there is the vanity mirror. The light is above instead of being built into the sun visor. And let's see how far back the sun visor goes. Well, it goes back pretty far, most likely going to be enough for the average person. And with 375 horsepower, when the driver drops the handle and somebody says, "Oh crap, we're going fast," well, they can grab an "oh crap" handle. And we'll take a quick look here at the driver's side door. I likely don't have to tell you too much about all the features and functionality that are here. You can see what all is here. A very nice look. You can see what we have with the door sill here. It does have plastic over it, so I'm not going to take that off. But I do like the size of the dead pedal right here. For those of you who don't know what that is, this is right here. And then our pedals, the brake and the gas right there. Obviously, we're going to mirror everything on this side that we did on the passenger side. And you do have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. It's going to be power adjustable. Here is how you take care of business where that is concerned. One thing I did want to show, which is, this is probably the best opportunity we're going to have to do it, is the illuminated kidney grille. I don't know how well you can see that, but you can kind of see the lighting down there on the bottom. You can actually see it a lot better up there on the top. If we were in a darker environment, I would probably be able to give you a better view of that, but just so you can see what is there. And I'll tell you what, a very driver-focused cockpit, the driver's seat, everything here that you would need to know, need to see, it's all here. I really like what BMW has done here. And obviously, when you open a door, you're going to see, well, that the door is open. And I like the fact that it's just so high-tech looking. It looks like it should. It looks like it should for the price of the vehicle. And then we're going to see that we have the nice, large paddle shifters for working our way through that 8-speed automatic transmission that puts power through to the ground, ultimately through that xDrive system. Your steering wheel mounted controls are here. And something else that is very nice, very high end, here is your infotainment screen that has so much information. We're just going to do a quick overview on that just to show you what's there. We saw a little bit of that earlier, but there is so much here that, well, it would take probably an hour worth of a video to show every aspect of it. But everything that you would expect. Obviously, built-in navigation, you can pair your phone. I'm going to go into reverse real quick and bring up the cameras, and there are not just one camera. There is not just one camera. In case any English teachers are watching, I apologize. That was terrible grammar on my behalf. But there is a multitude, or are a multitude, geez. I don't know. Someone will probably correct me in the comments on that. But whatever the case is, you have all of these different camera views. And if you're going to go into the car wash, guess what? You have the car wash view right there as far as the front of the vehicle goes. And then we're going to go back in right here. We can go to the 3D view if we want to see things. So quite a bit there. Very, very nice, very high end. And keep in mind, like I said earlier, you can go through and make all sorts of changes with the scroll wheel right here. We can obviously move around. You can see that's how I changed the position right there. I'm just rotating the basically one notch at a time, so just like that, and it's going around the vehicle. So a very nice look, a very nice clear view, and depending on what you want to do, well, you can go in and make all sorts of changes, change directions, and you can do this as fast as you want to, really. It's a really neat setup. And then obviously we're going to have a multitude of driving modes. We've seen that earlier. Let's go home real quick just so we can go and see if we can go through some of these driving modes. Here we go. Sport Individual. We're going to have Comfort, Eco Pro. You have others that you can go in as well. In fact, when you go into Sport Individual, here's the thing. How did I do that? So I'm in Sport right now, right? Did you notice that? So if you push the Sport button twice, then you can go into Sport Individual, or push it a second time when you're on this screen. And then you can go in and make even more changes depending on how you want to set things up. And as you can see, I paired my phone, so I promised you a sampling of the audio system here, the Harman Kardon audio. So here we go. So hopefully that's enough to give you a good sampling of what the sound system sounds like, at least based on what my lapel mic picks up. And one more thing I did want to share. I don't know how well the GoPro is picking it up, but there is a head-up display. You can see the projector for it right there. Just so you know, that's part of what you're paying for with $104,675. So tell me what you think down in the comments section. The sticker price of $104,675 on this X7. Is that a good price? Would you be willing to pay it? Well, basically you've seen the highlights of what you get if this is something you want to buy for that particular price. So I have to say a special thanks to my friends here at BMW for loaning me this X7 for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.